Hey everyone, it's Peter here. So, I want to do a bit of a booking video. So, I wasn't happy with the AEW women's title match from 2 weeks ago, and I didn't particularly like the TNT title match from last week. So, what I'm going to do is, I'm going to combine the two. I'm going to give them maybe until Christmas. So, I'm going to book this from the last week of April until Christmas. So, we'll do that in a moment, but I got this idea from 10 ways AEW can improve. I'll leave a link in the description below to the Elitist video and his channel. It's actually a really good channel, check it out guys. So, let's do this. So, Ty Conti versus Hikaru Shida. We're jumping right in with the women's title. There's a reason. We're going to get to it with the TNT title because they're going to intertwine a little bit. So, Ty versus Hikaru. Ty wins after a cheeky roll-up after Hikaru gets hit with the DDT but grabs the ropes. Doesn't kick out, but grabs the ropes. A little bit of inexperience on Ty's part, but gets the cheeky roll up 1, 2, 3. Then, Britt Baker comes out, keep the ending as it is. Britt Baker's the #1 contender, but Hikaru has a legit rematch for the title, so that happens. The next big show on Dynamite is the rematch. Ty wins that definitively with DDT in the middle of the ring. 1, 2, 3. End of story. So, we then get into the big pay-per-view. They've been building up the feud a little bit, they've been doing promos and all that jazz, and I'm not the biggest fan of Britt Baker in this heel role, but I can respect it, and she's thrived in the role. Not my cup of tea, but at the same time, she's thrived in it. So, Britt cheats to win the AEW Women's Championship. That pisses off the Dark Order a little bit. We'll get to the solution of that in a minute. So, Britt Baker goes on a undefeated streak with the belt, but every single title match, Rebel helps Britt win, building up a little bit of a narrative that the only way Britt can keep the belt is with Rebel's help going forward. So we have different challenges. We have Ty gets her rematch, and she again, after a few weeks of Britt going, no, I beat you already, you're not going to get your rematch. She goes to Tony Khan with -1 and says, I was never given my fair one-on-one rematch. I want my rematch for next week. Okay, you get your rematch. That's only fair. And so far, Britt's been starting to piss off Tony Khan a little bit. So, with that all being said, and whilst that's all going on, Red Velvet and Jay Cargill's situation has gotten more intensive, and it's intensified enough that there is going to be a last woman standing match, on the same card as the Britt Baker versus Ty Conti match. So, Red Velvet wins that match and wins the feud after Jay Cargill gets destroyed under some debris and stuff like that. So she still looks strong because Red Velvet just gets the shit kicked out of her, but Velvet gets the win and makes Cargill still look strong. Jay Cargill will be the women's champion, but spoiler alert, Jay Cargill will be the women's champion at the end of my booking video. So, bit of a spoiler alert, but the reasons why we'll get to in a minute. So, over the next few weeks, Rebel's helping, and it's singles matches, and she doesn't really help to win. Then, Big Swole challenges Britt Baker to a women's title match because she's been getting a few wins on Dynamite and Elevation, Dynamite, Elevation, and Dark, so she wants a title match. She goes to Tony Khan after Britt says no and says, hey, why does she get special privileges by getting wins on Elevation and Dark and Dynamite, and I'm doing the exact same thing and I'm not getting a women's title match? What gives to Khan? Okay, fine. That's a fair point. You have been getting wins. You get a title match next week. What about that? Good. Britt cheats to win again. Tony's now really getting pissed off with this. So, a match is set. Britt Baker and Rebel versus Ty Conti and Big Swole in a tag team match. Winner chooses, if Ty Conti and Big Swole get the win, they get a women's championship match. If Britt Baker and Rebel win, but if they win, they get to pick Britt Baker's next opponent, so obviously Britt Baker will pick Rebel, go down 1, 2, 3, boom. However, at the end of the match, it's a disqualification. Rebel and Britt Baker get DQ'd, which means that they, the Ty and Bits will win, but however, they just start beating them down. -1 comes out and just walks down to the ring, making sure that the girls are okay. Rebel and Britt see this, bolt. However, Rebel just wants to piss on, Rebel just wants to pour gasoline on the fire that she's already started. And she's getting a bit brave, but she's still a chicken shit heel when there's other people involved. But, what she does, she gets in the ring, shoves -1, and bolts, because the Dark Order come out and they are pissed at her. They don't put their hands on her, but they're pissed. This gets back a certain someone. The next week, Penelope Ford challenges Britt Baker to a match because she's been slowly turning face within the storyline that she's been going on with the TNT title. Again, we'll get to that in a minute. So, the Dark Order were backstage. -1 doesn't say a word. He hasn't said a word all week. Ty is disgusted at herself for not protecting -1. She's upset at herself. Evil Uno is going to Ty saying, it's not your fault, you didn't have any, you couldn't help it, that wasn't your fault. Stu Grayson is pissed, he's hot. He just turns around, stands up and goes, well, I'm gonna go and give her a piece of my mind. Evil Uno immediately goes to him and goes, no, the last time that happened, we had to deal with the police, so we're not gonna do that. The boss has got it covered. I'm sure he's got it covered. Haven't you, boss? -1 says nothing. Uno just goes, boss, you got it covered, right? And Negative just looks at Uno and just goes, no, I haven't got it covered. So Stu just goes, fine, I'm gonna go and talk to her. But before he turns around, a hand is placed on Stu's shoulder. No nail polish, no nails, no nothing, just a hand. Stu turns around to be like, 5, will you uh-oh. His eyes widen and he's shaking with fear. The rest of the Dark Order stands up because by this time John Silver's back as well. Ty has a smile on her face, and -1 just stands up and walks out. So, Britt Baker versus Penelope Ford happens. Britt Baker cheats to win again, even though this is a singles match, and they beat down Penelope Ford. -1, Kip's about to walk out, to help his wife, Meryl's about to walk out, we'll explain why in a minute, but -1 stops him in its tracks and goes, no, big guy, you've done enough damage, I'm dealing with this, walks out, we'll explain why in a minute. So, -1 comes out and just goes, your first mistake was screwing Ty Conti out of her women's championship. Your second mistake was attacking Ty and Bitswell after your tag team match 3 weeks ago. Your third mistake was putting your hands on me. And Britt goes, oh yeah, that was fun, I enjoyed doing that. Build it up, make her the biggest bitch on AEW Dynamite. And Negative just goes, well, I'm not going to put my hands on you. Because I'm a man, even though I'm a kid, I don't do that. I don't show disrespect. But my Pitbull's chain has been unleashed. And well, let's just say that she's going to show everyone just how much of a bitch she can really be. Anna Jay walks out. She's returned. She gets in the ring, kicks the shit into Rebel. By this point, Tony Khan has had enough of Britt Baker's bollocks. So a match is made, a 6-woman pack challenge for the number 1 contendership to the AEW Women's Championship. So it's Red Velvet, Jade Cargill, Big Swole, Rebel, and 2 other announcees that are going to be announced next week. However, Negative One walks in the shop, gets in Tony Khan's ear, and goes, what he says is, I want Velvet, I want the match to stay the same, but I want something. I want Anna Jay versus Rebel next week on Dynamite. If Red Velvet, if Anna Jay wins, I get what I want. Tony Khan goes, okay. The match is set, and your condition is met. Thank you. And Negative One walks off. So everyone's like, what is it going to be? So, next week, Rebel versus Anna Jay. Anna Jay kills Rebel. She is pissed. She put her hands, even though she wasn't the one who did it, Britt Baker put her hands on Negative One. She made a solemn oath to Brody Lee that she would protect Negative One. We find that out in the promo after Anna Jay wins. Negative One gets on the mic. This pitbull is my protector. She made an oath, a solemn oath to Brody Lee that she will protect me. And when she went down with an injury, she didn't expect this to happen. She didn't expect me to have someone to put their hands on me. And she's furious. But I made a deal with Tony Khan last week, as everybody saw. I said that if Anna Jay could beat Rebel, Britt Baker would have to have the 6-pack challenge, and the winner of that will face Britt Baker. But the 2 announcees would be Ty Conti and Anna Jay, because Britt Baker found a way to say that these 2 shouldn't be in the match, and that's unfair. Ty's a former women's champion who should be involved in the match, and Anna just wants her hands on Britt Baker. So, last pay-per-view of the year for AEW, which is All Out, if I recall, or Revolution. The 6-pack challenge goes down. Like I said, it's Rebel, Red Velvet, Big Swole, Jade Cargill, Anna Jay, and Ty Conti. Jade Cargill and Red Velvet go at it immediately because they're wanting to rebuild the feud, and obviously, after this you can build that feud up. Red Velvet gets pinned first. Everybody thinks it's going to be Rebel. It's not. Rebel just runs out, hides in the rim, so then nobody sees her. Nobody sees her for like 15 minutes of the match. Over goes back to Jade Cargill until Jade Cargill gets DQ'd by hitting everybody else with a chair. Rebel looks at the scene and she's like, yay! Runs in, pins Big Swole. It's a stupid thing, but it means that Big Swole's out. Anna Jay and Red Velvet, Anna Jay and Ty Conti team up, attack Rebel. Ty Conti gets the win. Then it's Anna Jay and Ty Conti. In the middle of the ring, winner becomes number 1 contender to the title. And at this point, I felt like, shit, we're gonna have to fight. However, Negative One comes out and just sits at ringside. So they look at Negative One, they look at each other, they show respect, so they fight. Anna Jay wins, but promises Ty Conti if she wins the title in a month's time of Winter is Coming 2, she will be the first challenger to the AEW Women's Championship. Now, I said that Jade Cargill will be the number 1 contender. Well, she's not been pinned and she's not been submitted. She's won all her matches in 2021 so far. So immediately after Anna Jay and the Ty Conti match, she is the next challenger. So the week before, so Winter is Coming happens. and Anna Jay becomes the champion. Then Red Velvet, so then it's Ty Conti and Anna Jay 1-on-1. However, that match is ended in a DQ after Jay Cargill gets involved and attacks both women. So that means Jay Cargill gets the next match, and at New Year's Smash, Jay Cargill beats Anna Jay to win the title. And you have those two go after it. So you've actually built quite a few stars in this moment. You've continued to build Britt Baker. You've built Anna Jay for her return and a quick title run, but she can beat Jay Cargill again for the title, having Anna Jay beat Jay Cargill in her first loss to regain the title. If it doesn't work out with Jay Cargill as the women's champion, you've built Ty Conti up, and you've actually built Penelope Ford up for a reason that we're going to get to with the TNT title picture. So, in a moment, let's do that. So, TNT title picture. So, Darby Allin versus Jungle Boy happens the same way, and Darby Allin cheats to win. So, then, 10 comes out on Dynamite, on AEW Dark Elevation, and goes, I deserve a title match. Next week, at Dynamite, I want my title match. So, building up this match. 10 wins. 10 wins, gets the belt, brings it to the Dark Order. So now, the Dark Order actually has the TNT title back, and they love it. They're enjoying it. They're happy. They love that they've got the TNT title back in the Dark Order. Yes, the women's title as well, but Ty isn't actually in the Dark Order. She's just affiliated with them. So, Ty's not an official member. 10 is. You give that belt to 10 for a little bit of time. So, you continue building Mero up, but however, you have Mero take out Kip Sabian. There's a reason for that. So, you have Kip get taken out. The arm injury is severe. It's somehow managed, the muscles torn and the bones broken. So he's on Dynamite, he's on AEW Dark talking about the injury when Mero comes in and breaks his shoulder on the same arm that he broke his arm. He breaks his shoulder, so he's out of action for 4 to 6 months, leading into Winter is Coming 2. So, by this point, Penelope Ford hasn't heard from Kip for a few weeks. No calls, no texts, no emails, no tweets, no nothing. It's going to be hard, obviously, because they are married, but it's doable. It's believable that they can actually do this. So, a message is sent to Penelope saying, hey, hey P, or hey, Penelope, or, give her a nickname, say it's a nickname from Kip. Sorry I've not been on Dynamite. I'll be there next week to explain my reasonings. Kip. Penelope's happy. She hasn't seen her husband in weeks. She wants to see him. However, Mero comes out and explains that Kip doesn't want to see Penelope. Kip thinks she's weak and blah 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 blah. And he's slowly starting to turn Penelope into his manager for a little bit of time. It's not going to be a big run. It's probably going to be about a 3-4 month run with her as his manager before she finally sees the error of her ways and learns that Kip didn't do that. We'll get to that in a minute. So, then, 2 months, about a month and a half later, Mero becomes the number 1 contender to the TNT title against 10. Penelope is still a little bit brainwashed by Mero and helps Mero win the TNT title, and then he goes on an undefeated tear. He pins Darby Allin, he pins Jungle Boy, the rematch with 10, he just destroys Mero and everything. And then, all of a sudden, Penelope says that she's going to divorce Kip. Live on Dynamite, because she hasn't heard from him in 4 months. However, producer Ben, who runs Kip's YouTube channel, I'm going to bring him in for just one segment, which is this segment. Well, not this segment, but for the YouTube channel. An ordinary video is about to start on Kip's YouTube channel. However, producer Ben just goes, no, I'm not even going to do that today. I'm actually annoyed by this. So you see, A few months ago, Mero broke my brother's arm. You see, producer Ben and Kip are brothers. He broke my brother's arm and he broke my brother's shoulder. Well, I'm going to tell you something about Mero that a lot of people don't actually know about. He's actually a manipulative, lying little bastard, little bitch who thinks he can actually mess around with Penelope, get in her head and saying that she doesn't, Kip doesn't love her anymore. In fact, you know what? I'm actually going to tell you the truth. Kip's actually been... A hand comes in, grabs producer Ben, and just drags him away, kicks the shit out of him, walks out. It's Mero. He just goes, annoyed little bastard, and walks off. Then Penelope sees the video because it's uploaded onto the it's uploaded to the channel, and she calls Mero out, and she says, "Wait a minute, you attacked my brother-in-law. I like my brother-in-law. I like my husband's family. Explain your actions now. Why haven't I been able to contact Kip? Because for the past 4 months, Kip hasn't contacted me, and you've always been in the way of me calling him. So explain your actions now, because you've just attacked my brother-in-law." And Mero comes clean with everything. Being in a relationship makes you weak. Being in a marriage makes you weaker. Being in a marriage that involves wrestling is the weakest of all. Look at how many marriages in wrestling has failed. Look at them. There's only a few success stories, and even then there's controversies around them. So I wanted to make you stronger. I wanted you to realise that you didn't need Kip. So if I had to destroy a marriage to make that work, then a marriage must be broken. Penelope slaps Kip and walks off. Then Mero needs somebody to take out Penelope. Who do we have that can do that? Well, we have Jade Cargill. So Mero hires Jade Cargill to take out Penelope. And that's what happens. And this is on the same week that Jade Cargill demands the title match from Tony Khan after Britt Baker versus Anna Jay, and then Anna Jay versus Ty Conti. So again, we're intertwining the stories. So Mero pays Jade. Jade destroys Penelope, like utterly destroys her. Mero gets on the mic and says, "Yeah, this is what happens. Where's your husband now? Your husband isn't here. He's weak. He's nothing." And Kip Saban music hits, walks out, and destroys Mero. So much so that Mero tucks his tail between his legs, then fucking runs out of the fucking ring. Kip is pissed at Mero. He comes out next week. He comes out on Dynamite Dark Elevation and just attacks a heel. Darby Allen. He just attacks Darby Allen for no reason. Comes out on Dark Elevation and just goes, "You attacked my wife. You hired someone to attack my wife. You blocked all communications with my wife, which is actually, for you, very fucking impressive. You attacked my brother. That's something that I cannot forgive you for. You attacked my brother. You broke my arm. You broke my shoulder. And for what? A title? Well, Mero, I'm gonna kick the shit into you. I may be David, but I'm going to be the David to your Goliath. And I'm challenging you to a TNT title match at Winter is Coming. And I don't give a what Tony says. I don't give a what you say. I'm challenging you. Bring your big Bulgarian ass out here and you can accept my challenge, motherfucker." He doesn't set the motherfucker part. Mero comes out and goes, "You're not even in the top 10. You're not even in the top 5. You're not even in the top 10. Hell, you're not even in the top 20. You haven't even had a match in 4 months. Why should I give you a title match?" And Kip just turns around and goes, "Oh, by the way, I had a word with your wife. And to be fair, at least if you showed this much compassion out here as you do in the bedroom, then maybe she might have actually stayed with you and walked with you out of the company you used to work for. Meryl's pissed. Gets in the ring, Kip runs out, he knows he's pissed off the Beast, but he manages to get the match. Meryl goes backstage and demands the match from Tony. Give me Kip next week. In fact, give me him in a no DQ match. That's what I want. Match is set. Kip versus Meryl, no disqualification. But on Dynamite, Kip comes out and again explains everything. Explains how he wasn't able to contact Penelope because his phone was able, again, you have enough, there's enough technology in the world that it goes down. Internet connection, calls get dropped, and stuff like that. Even a carrier pigeon. Meryl managed to get a carrier pigeon and intercept it. How is that even possible in 2021, ladies and gentlemen? But I need to make it up to my wife. I need to show my wife that I do care about her. Penelope, please come out. I want to apologise to you. And Kip can pull it off. He is so he is grovelling, and he apologises profusely to his wife, saying that he should have tried even harder. He tried his best. Producer Ben brings up message after, they bring up on the screen message after message after message after call after call after call after text, tweet after tweet after tweet. He tried everything, and Meryl managed to stop every single piece of communication between the two. Penelope sees this, she looks around, and then all of a sudden, her messages get played. And it goes, where are you, and all that. And it shows that they actually do love each other. They hug, and yay, they both turn heel. If you want to keep Penelope a bit of a face, you turn her into the good girl, but she can, she cheats to win every now and again. You can do that with Penelope. I think she can pull it off really well. No DQ match. Kip versus Meryl. Kip wins. Give him a title run. He's bloody brilliant. And then, at the end of the time, give Penelope the AEW Women's title and have those two as just a bit of a power couple in a way. So, hope you guys enjoyed that. I'm very sorry that it was it's almost a 30-minute video, but I just wanted to see if you guys enjoyed this. So give me a comment in the comment section below if you enjoyed it. And as always, guys, I will see you Wednesday for the AEW Dynamite review and the CWS. The CWS will be a little bit later than usual. I'm busy in the morning, and the Dynamite video should be up normally. So, ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much for watching, and I will see you for the CWS episode 87. TTFN.